record in Skype. All right, there we go. That's recording now. It just saves it all.
Okay. Damn, legends. Makes me nervous.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining
thank
us.
you for joining us.
Yep.
We've missed you, Hunter.
Me too, guys. Damn, I was
So
supposed to be in UK in August, remember? The road trip?
Yeah, we wanted to do the road trip, but I don't know. Sometime in the future. I still want to see you in the UK. I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Take you to Scotland.
I was going to be there in August.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah.
No. We will
Got my
make it.
cow mug here.
Sick. I like it.
That's the most baller mug.
Yeah.
I got Sam Kojo on my mug. Look at that.
Oh, damn. What is that? Ariel
Ariel Semi.
Axe?
Yeah, one of them.
Ariel Semi?
Extended one.
I've just got curse words on my mug.
Do I look like a fucking people person? You do, though.
That's such an Omid mug.
I hate it. I hate the mug. I hate what it says on the mug, but it's like a good size for coffee.
You look like more of an TikTok e-boy than a people person.
That's me. Bro, the hair's just going to keep getting longer at the front.
You're just going to have one of those massive quiffs. Just always have a different filter on your face and swish your hair around.
I'm just going to be pouting and stuff in all of my posts. At the end of every combo, instead of like sliding my legs together, I'm just going to look at the camera and go.
I never heard of the e-boys till recently, but that needs to end.
Same. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up with the kids, keep up with the latest terms.
I just don't really get it. It's they just like make weird faces at the camera. I don't.
Yeah, they just get the little girls going. They get those girls.
Their demographic is small children, female.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. All these kind of grown men doing this.
It's kind of bringing like the whole One Direction like appeal to an app, really, isn't it?
Well, what does E stand for? Electronic boy?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's just like an internet sexy boy.
I hate it.
Sexy boy.
We've got a bunch of questions for you, Mr. Alexander.
Whoa. Before we get into that, what is that shirt?
Oh, it's Hans Wickling.
Yeah, is it?
Coming at you, coming through.
Legend.
I love it.
His legacy.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So do you want to get into some of these questions then?
So
I'm really excited to chat to you about stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
I wanted to get into.
I got things to say that I'm only saying to like one or two people, and it needs to be said.
Now it's time to say it to the world. Say it to all 130 people who are going to watch this. At least. So.
They're the most important people. They're the people that really need to hear it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first off, what made you transition from mostly power tricks to mostly weird, unusual tricks?
Let's see. I injured my ankle in 2011. I had like ankle surgery, and then after that, I was already like not trying to do full ins and stuff anymore. Because I just didn't really want to go through that. At the time, it was only like probably 8 or 9 months until I was full power. But when at that time, it feels like forever though. Looking back, it's not really that long. You know what I mean? But at the time, so I didn't want to go through that again. And I already found a lot of the invert stuff kind of easier for me. So I was already kind of drawn to those kind of moves. And I don't know. I mean, I still did power for a while after that, but after a while, it's just not worth it because I can do the easy, weird stuff for as long as I want. And it's like, I'm probably not going to tear something or break something just being on my hands or doing weird, just like single trick variations. Or I could do like some double back combo and break my ankles and be out for months. And I'd rather just not worth it. Like I've already done it, you know? I've not done
Well,
what today's standard is, but for that time, I already kind of did it. So it's just more interesting for me, the weird variations and cool stuff. I'm using my mind. I'm not, if I do a bunch of gainer switches or quirks, I'm not really using my mind in any way.
Just blasting.
It's hard, but I'm not. Yeah, you get what I mean, right? So
how's your enjoyment changed throughout like the transition? Like, did you enjoy training more or less before?
Just different. I think I put more emphasis before on if I could land, my dub or whatever combo I was trying, my triple, whatever. Like if I was having a bad session, didn't land that, I immediately was like pissed and wanted to go home. There was no alternative. There was no going back to. It was like all or nothing. There wasn't going back to like easier stuff, working my basics, finding something cool to do. It was like, I didn't do that. I'm pissed. I want to go home. The day I landed my first triple quirk, I wanted to go home earlier that session. Like, I don't remember what I was doing. I like fell in like a quirk, double quirk or something. And I remember Pot was there and I was just like, I was pissed. I wanted to go home. Like, it was all or nothing, And obviously I couldn't go home. I drove everyone 30 miles to the gym. So that's how it felt. And then slowly, I don't remember what happened. I like landed something. I was like, oh, okay, it feels slightly better. Landed something else. Oh, this feels better. I'll try triple quirk. And then eventually I landed it. Same with double backflip. I was on my way home from the gym in the car with my friends. And then we turned around and went back to the gym and I did double back for the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, it was all or nothing then. And now I don't take myself as seriously anymore. Like, if it's not working out, I don't really care because just flips. I don't know. It also have more of a reference, I guess, now for, oh, I'm not doing what I want to do. It's okay. I can work on other stuff. And I don't know. I don't take myself as seriously, I guess. I have more fun with like simple movements. And I guess part of that is probably being more grateful that I can even move and do this stuff at all. I have working limbs and a working body and wasn't really probably thinking about that stuff before. I was so wrapped up in like triple core, double back, swing. You know what I mean?
Do you think it was the injuries that kind of forced that perspective, or do you think it was just like a gradual thing? Because for me personally, it was kind of a combination of both. But I now feel as though I have that kind of gratitude that I get to train. And it's like, even if I am having a bad session, I always just remind myself, I'm lucky enough to always be able to have another session. So I try not to do anything that's like me forcing a trick and which could then end up in me getting injured or something of that nature.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The injuries, being grateful that we can even move or do anything. We're so caught up in the bubble. For me, at least, 95% of my friends are in tricking or from karate movement. So we're in this bubble and we think that it's normal that all of our friends can do backflips off of one leg and doubles and triples, but we're far from normal. We're 0.00001% of the world. You know what I mean? So when we're caught in that bubble, all of my feed online is tricks, flips, movement. You know what I mean? You forget that this stuff is, it's not normal. And be grateful that we can even do this. And for someone that doesn't do this, anything that we do is amazing. Not that it's all about impressing other people, but I think we just get wrapped up in this bubble. Everything around, at least me, is this movement stuff. So
yeah, I get that. And
then
it's
the same for us. Yeah,
it feels like you're not doing anything that impressive because you're seeing these Japanese kids all the time doing like way crazier things, when actually it is impressive.
Yeah, we're wrapped up in this bubble.
Yeah.
For someone else, it's all perspective. For my bad session, for someone that just began tricking or doesn't even know what tricking is the most mind-blowing thing they've ever seen.
Yeah.
You don't know the impression you're leaving on someone else until after, or you may never. you don't know.
True.
So.
But even with that being said, and how much, and it makes a lot of sense, like why you do what you do and why you enjoy it. Do you ever miss doing power moves?
Yeah, I do. And I think one of the questions was, will I ever do power moves again? It's like, I don't know. Maybe. If I have a good session and feel really powerful, I could randomly say, I'm going to try double back. But I'm just tired of getting injured. It's just, every time I get injured and have to like rehab my like swollen ankle for like 3 months, it just makes me want to do that stuff less and less. Or my knee, or it's usually my lower body. Yeah. It just makes me not really care anymore. Every time that happens, it's more and more disheartening. So
I relate to that.
I don't really care. There's only so many times I can pop my ankle or my knee and me care about doing double backflips again, or any of those power moves.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. I don't know.
What about like the middle ground though? Like not super high level power moves, but like cork snapu in a combo, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was never great at the cork snapu though. I know that's just one trick, but
how about dub or?
Well, that's a bit more impact.
Yeah,
I know, but you were really fucking good.
True.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can still double cork pretty easily. I still usually land like 1 foot at a time and stuff. I think I could still do it again. I would just have to dedicate a few sessions to it. It's one of those things where there's so many tricks you can do.
Yeah.
Like infinite tricks you can do, and I only have so much time. And I can put all of my time into one thing, but then I got really good at one thing, and there's just so much to do. I don't know. There's only so much time I have, kind of thing.
True.
So maybe I'll get back to it again, as the circle comes around. I don't know.
You'll have a whole new skill set to combine it with as well.
Yeah, that's how it's felt the last couple of years. It's like work this skill set, and then I get a whole nother skill set, and it's just like different phases,
Well, with the new skill set, one of the questions I thought was most interesting is, do you name all of the weird new tricks you do, or do you even have a name for them in your head?
No. No, not at all. Because then just being honest, then I'd be naming like 10 different tricks a week. I don't know. Also, it doesn't really matter because I don't know. Some of the things that I'm doing, like I'm not seeing anyone else do, so there's no communication about it because no one else is really doing it. So I don't really see a reason for a name. It's not like I'm talking to people about it. I don't see anyone else doing it. And that's not really why I don't name it. I don't really care. I'm too busy doing it.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think every little movement needs a name. Like a scoot where I lean back and I kick with the left leg and then I turn and then I don't know. It's what I did. That's what it is. It's what you saw. I'm not trying to be like mean or anything. I'm just that's my way of thinking about it. It's like.
No, of course, that makes a lot of sense. I think we kind of see eye to eye on that collectively. Like all the little intricacies. Like I think they make sense in some circumstances, but for you as an example, everything that you do, it's a different sport at this point. You're just doing a different thing. Like you can't put names to all this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Same with a lot of stuff you do.
Oh,
yeah.
Nah.
The dirty captain, don't you?
I know the moose knuckle. See, because I find great enjoyment in naming stuff when I'm just like fucking around with my friends and like I'm just doing stupid movements that are just like entertaining to me and funny to kind of make up or just vary. I like naming them based off of I don't know that experience and just coming up with a stupid name, but again, it's not that serious,
Yeah, I think people get too caught up and what is that called? Well, what is this called? Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's what I did.
I don't know with your style of tricks and stuff and the avenues that you've explored that pretty much no one else that I've ever seen has explored. Nowhere near to the extent that you have anyway. Do you I mean, I guess this would have changed a lot over the years, but currently, who do you look at as any kind of, do you look at anybody for inspiration, or do you see people doing things and then you want to try and implement that into your movement?
There's this guy I watch a lot right now. You probably have seen him. He's from Argentina, Matias, like Belintende. I don't know how you pronounce it. Do you know that guy?
Yeah.
He's sick. He's just like a master of like all the bridge, helicoptero, Gumby kind of stuff. I've gotten a lot of ideas from him. Do you know Aaron Hakala?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Aaron
love
Hakala.
Aaron Hakala.
Yeah. He's sick. I've been watching him for years. Michael Guthrie's my all-time favorite. Like, out of all the trickers, I probably spent the most hours watching his videos. Rasmus Ott. Honestly, sometimes I just go on YouTube and I search like capoeira tricks, and then I just like screen record it and then save it and then just try shit. So I don't really know their names. I wish I did, but I'll just search capoeira. I watch a lot of circus people. Sometimes I don't really know their names. I just like save their videos and then just try what they're doing. And even if I mess up with what I saw, it creates something new. A lot of the times I can't do what I see, but then me trying it creates something, or it gives me an idea for something. Oh, what if I spotted this way? Oh, what if I did that but just looked here? Something like that. The spot makes a big difference. I've been playing with that a lot. Just like looking somewhere else can leave your chest in one spot. You know what I mean? And then your hips can go around that. You know? Chest or eyes one place, leaves the body one place, and it creates a whole different look. Things like that. But yeah, answer your question. Sorry. Circus, capoeira, and then the few guys I named, and a bunch of other people too that I can't remember right now. I just scroll through, you know. I'm always watching videos. I'm obsessed with it, you know. Always on Instagram, always on YouTube, always on Facebook. Just constantly watching. Yeah, always thinking about it.
With what you were saying about watching like circus guys and then trying to replicate what they're doing, but then maybe not being able to do it and then creating a whole new thing. Like, I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of like, when looking at your tricks, it almost looks as though if you look at a combo that you've done, it's kind of like you could mirror it with a normal combo. And if you've just taken parts of each trick and then just like warped them a little bit, and you've like dissected a trick and you've taken the mechanics of a trick and then you've changed one element within each trick or two, and then you've created this whole combo out of what could just be based on normal tricks, but then you've just like put your hips in this position or put your leg in this position, but it still has that base root. Is that the way that you think about it? Or
I don't really think I get what you're saying, and it's probably true. I just don't really think of it that way. Maybe it's just from experience, years of experience. I don't do any hook kicks.
Don't do any
spin hook kicks. Sorry, I'll do like I did swipe knife the other day, and like I don't know, random things like that. Aerial hook. I try to do no spin hook kicks. I don't do any fluff. I don't do like the what's it called? You know, that back step where they go the same way afterwards. So they could have just gone that way to begin with, kind of thing. I don't do that. I don't do spin. Like I don't do any fluff. I try to just get to the point. I just go right to the next trick. You know what I mean? I don't see a reason for all the in between unless you make it dope. I try to just get to it. Obviously, it is my own. It's subjective. What it is dope for me. It's subjective.
I think Alex D is probably the best example of like doing the fluff stuff, but he makes it look cool.
Yeah.
But there's not many.
Oh, he's one of my favorites too. He's another one that I watch all the time. I wish he put out more footage. I think he's been dealing with a lot of injuries the last few years, but he's awesome too. He's just like
I think it's a testament to a tricker if they can make even stuff that a lot of people do. Like if you look at like a cheat 9 hook side swipe type combo. Everyone does it. It's just one of the done combos. But if someone can do that kind of combo and make it look incredible, and it almost looks like a completely different thing, I think that's a true testament to the trick of being like special. And on top of that, he also does insane other things and a bunch of stylish kind of tricks. So yeah, and same with you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, Alan Davies.
Yeah.
He's another great example.
Simple tricks look amazing.
Yeah, his cookie cutter stuff is amazing. He doesn't just do cookie cutter stuff too, but his like cookie cutter standard combos makes me want to watch cookie cutter combos. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just awesome.
So what's your approach moving forward? Like with the tricks that you're doing, do you? Because like okay, what's your approach moving forward with training? Like how much are you training, and what do you have goals in terms of your training, or is it like a session by session basis, or do you have like more long-term goals? Because like you've been in the game for a long time, and I'm just intrigued because there's not that many people that I can speak to like this and just really, I don't know, pick their brain about their training method and the way that they view things at this point.
So hold on, you said a few things. Let me address. So moving forward, good question. I kind of have goals for the next session or two, and I just like write them in my little notepad in my iPhone. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Sometimes during session, I just completely forget about them and do something else. So it's nothing that's like super concrete, just little ideas in my head based off of things I've already done. Kinda. Like most of it is based off just like Ray's, Gumby, Cork. I don't know. I think people think sometimes it's more complex than it is, but it's really just based off those three moves. It's just tiny little, nuances of those three moves. But so it's usually just trying to play off of those, and I don't think I have any goals beyond a couple sessions from now.
Do you never have any long-term goals? Are there any like really weird but hard tricks that are kind of a while away, but you'd like to be able to do?
It's probably way easier than I think, but I really want to get that 360 dive roll. I've never been able to do it. I don't know why. Like, I see like beginner freerunners and parkour people do it all the time, and I'm like, why can't I do that? I don't know what it is. The 360 dive roll, the 540 dive roll. A lot of those roll tricks I think are really cool. I can think of it in the moment, but not right now.
Oh, on a side note, one thing that I was talking to Omid about yesterday, actually, that I'd love to see you do. You know your touchdown side swipe where you grab your leg the whole time? Where you, like,
Yeah.
Do you think you could do wrap full 360 back handspring out of that?
While holding it?
No, but just do that and then wrap 360 back handspring.
Yeah.
Right out.
Yeah, I think I can do it. I'll do it today.
That would be really, really good.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I thought you meant
Please do that.
That's one thing I want to do. Side swipe, holding it, like with no hands. And then the touchdown side swipe to GMS while holding it the whole time. Both of those would be cool. Yeah, I'll do the wrap full one today. Get a trick later today.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't see many people using the holds really. Kind of under.
Oh, the Yudo guy. Yudo from Japan, the guy that trains the Taka.
Oh, yeah.
Why
he does do that kind of shit. Yeah.
I don't know if I've watched that guy.
I think his Instagram's like Yuto_LGC or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of these Japanese gymnasts that are starting to trick, and obviously they get good really fast and they're sick. I think a lot of them are probably introduced by Taka. Yeah. And Africa's on the come up too. Have you seen Africa on the tricking page recently?
Yeah, I've seen them jumping.
Dude, Africa's on the come up, man.
Yeah.
For real, dude.
Well, it feels like it feels like Taka is just recruiting everybody in Japan to Volatrix. I don't understand. I feel like everybody's Instagram that I see has Volatrix at the end of it. I'm just like, I've never seen you before. How are you doing rap double full late 9? I've never seen you before.
It's a cult. Yeah. No, every few days I see a different Japanese kid I've never seen doing like the most amazing shit. I don't really get it. It's like every few days, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see what
good
else.
Questions.
The people are asking. What's interesting? We got some flexibility ones. So one was, were you naturally flexible, or did you work hard to achieve that flexibility?
It was natural. For middle split, I could always do it. In kindergarten, I used to like jump as high as I could, and I would land in split on like concrete. It's like an early memory I have. And yeah, I could always do the full middle split. I don't know if I could do that anymore.
Can you do that now?
Maybe if I'm warmed up. Maybe. I don't know if I want to anymore, though.
Do you stretch much to maintain it?
What's that?
Do you stretch much now to like maintain it?
A little bit. I go through phases. When I was at 24-hour fitness, I'd stretch in the jacuzzi.
Oh, nice.
I'd always stretch in the jacuzzi. Yeah. Middle split in there, hamstrings.
Steam rooms and stuff.
When I was a kid, I was afraid of monsters under the bed, like grabbing my ankles. So I would sleep like this. Hold on. I don't know if you can see me. I'm like inverted butterfly. Or no, it's not even inverted butterfly stretch laying down. I would stretch like that because I was afraid of. I think I saw an episode of Rugrats where the monster grabbed his ankles and brought him under the bed. So I would sleep like that. But I can't touch my toes.
That makes so much sense.
I can't touch my toes though.
That's crazy.
So your hamstrings aren't that flexible.
What's that?
So your hamstrings aren't particularly flexible.
No, but I don't know if it's that important. I think hips are more important. Back for sure, but I think hips might be the most important.
Definitely,
depending on the aesthetic.
Yeah. I think hamstrings are good for some things. I think hamstrings are good for gainer switch, to be honest, because you can just get a much bigger like trail leg, so you don't have to do as much of a flip. But,
yeah,
I get that with hips. I feel like a lot of the tricks that I'm working on, whenever I'm working like a new variation or I'm doing like a weird kind of combo, if I didn't have the flexibility that I have, I wouldn't be able to do most of it. And then if I'm not completely warmed up and I'm doing something, I don't know, a little bit more hip intensive, I can feel how much of an impact it has on my tricks. And because I don't feel it when I'm warmed up. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just my body. And I'm so used to stretching all the time that it just kind of is what it is. But then when I see other people that just aren't that flexible and they're trying other things, I'm like, are your hips made of concrete? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
With people that are not flexible?
Yeah, when they're not as flexible, but they're trying some shit.
Yeah. Do you stretch a lot, Alex?
Yeah, like twice a day.
Yeah.
But usually for like between an hour and a half and 2 hours a day. But like
really?
Yeah.
Are you doing stuff while you do that? That's a long time.
Yeah, well, this has only been like a recent thing that I've been doing it for that long, and also breaking it up into the morning and the evening, because I've been waking up between like 5 and 6 a.m. usually. And
sorry to hear that.
It's just
no, that's good. That's good.
It's just a good way to start the day, because like I drink a coffee and I'll respond to comments or whatever and just be, I don't know, doing stuff on my phone and listening to music or a podcast, and then go for a run and
that's dope.
To go.
So Sam, you do that too, right? 5 a.m., 5:30. What time do you guys go to sleep?
Yeah. I did a month of getting up at 5 a.m. every day, mainly to kind of train my brain so I could always get up when I wanted. And because Scar's not here, I didn't want to fall into a routine of staying up all night, being sad, and then sleeping in. So I was like, I'm just going to get up at 5 a.m. every day. But now I've been a bit more flexible with it. I'm not like, most days I'll get up at 5 or 6, but I'm not forcing myself to do it every day because, yeah, if I want to do something in the evening, then I'll get up a bit later. I just like to not snooze and I just want to be in control of when I get up, pretty much.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's nice.
I just go by feeling.
Yeah, well, it is better to wake up naturally. Like, I get that. I'd like to get to a point where I could wake up naturally, but it's like pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dream right there.
You guys have tricking dreams?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having dreams of cork swings lately, but my foot always misses the ground.
Ooh.
My dreams used to feel like the actual trick, and now the last few years, it's like my feet are always missing the ground or something. And I know in the dream that shit's off. I don't know that I'm dreaming. I know that something's off. My feet just keep missing the ground.
Do you hurt yourself in dreams ever?
No, I don't. But I'll land dream combos in dreams. Someone's filming me in the dream, and I freak out like, holy shit, I just did like snappy swing double cork. This was like last week. And in the dream, I'm thinking, holy fuck, I actually finally did it. Not in a dream. I did it in real life. And I wake up and it's a dream.
Oh, that sucks.
That happens a lot.
That sucks so bad.
For years, it was cork, double cork, swing cork, double cork. Because that was a goal for me in like 2011. And in the dream, every time I'd go, holy fuck, I finally landed it in real life, not a dream. And it was a dream. I never actually got
your
that
brain. Your brain just really fucking you up. Like, it's like tricking you into thinking it was real.
Yeah.
I have the opposite. It's like I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm always breaking my ankle in my dreams. I'm always doing trick, like normally gain a switch or something, and then I just break my ankle again. I keep reliving that moment still. It happens quite a lot. And I wake
you're
up
relieved when you wake up.
Yeah, I'm just relieved that it's not actually broken. Yeah.
I don't remember any dreams that I've had for many years. The only dreams that I do remember are always like bad dreams. And the only times that has happened related to tricking, it's been like, there was one time I was at the end of a tumble track. I was bombing it down the end of a tumble track doing whips. And then I tried, I think it was like dub in, dub out, or dub in, full out. And then I just like landed on my neck. And this gym was enormous, and it was almost like a camera view. And the camera kind of zoomed out, and it was me just kind of laying there, and then it's slowly getting up and like hobbling up to this track. And then it turns out the track was like miles long, and nobody had noticed or tried to come and help me. And then the dream ended. That was a bad one.
That sounds distressing.
Yeah.
I got a question from Josh Durbin. So, what are the positive and negative differences between the tricking community now and when you started?
There's a lot, because I started in 2003.
Damn.
Well, we just had bilang. 2003 I got backflip, aerial, pop 3. I think I learned the term tricking in 04. But anyway, we just had bilang message board. I think TT existed then, but I wasn't on it yet. I was just going bilang message board. There was Mike X server. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
It was like a internet server where people would upload videos because YouTube didn't exist yet. I think YouTube started in 2005. Yeah, Mike X server, bilang tournaments were a lot of the samplers came out from tournaments. I think the first gathering was like Toronto 04 or 05. I wasn't there. I just remember hearing about it.
The first ever gathering?
I think so. I think it was Toronto 04 or 05. Before that, people would just go to karate tournaments, and they would trick like in between divisions or just on that hotel carpet on the side.
Yeah. That's so sick.
So a lot of the early samplers from bilang were from like the NASCA tournaments, or he was in Europe, so he'd be at the European tournaments too, like the French Open, and I don't remember all the names. A lot of those tricking samplers came from the karate tournaments, and the stars of tricking then were the NASCA people. And if you didn't come from karate, you were called a backyard tricker. You tricked and learned in your backyard. So the main trickers now, I think you guys were talking about this on another one of your podcasts, the main guys now are mostly not from sport karate. And back then, the tricking stars were like also the NASCA superstars.
Yeah.
And
What-
I
Freaking
think
stars.
what's that?
I love that you call them stars.
They were
Freaking
stars. They were stars at the time. I mean, they still are in their field or whatever. They're all in stunts now.
Yeah.
Most of them, not all of them. Some of them like own karate schools. But I think remember CLN, Charlie Lee Nationals. Remember hearing about that? And
Yeah. Seen videos of that.
I think that was the first tournament where trickers would come that weren't like sport karate people. Like backyard trickers would be at CLN, the karate tournament, and they'd be tricking at the karate tournament, but they weren't there to compete. And like that was the thing. Like, oh, these guys aren't even competing; they're just here to trick. And I think that ended in 2007, and then gatherings kind of took off from there.
How was
after
that?
ended,
How were the backyard trickers viewed? Was it seen as like a negative thing or just a thing?
It was
where,
negative.
like,
You had no technique. You couldn't kick. You're just throwing yourself, no regard. It was kind of a negative thing back then. I thought it was cool. Like Dave C, he was like the original backyard tricker. You guys know Dave C, right?
Tricker. Yeah, of course.
He was like the original backyard hippie smoking. You know, he's what your parents warned you. You know, I thought he was awesome.
Dave C's a legend.
I'm just saying. He was like the original backyard tricker. What else? We had no Instagram. We had no like. Nobody had followers and stuff like that. There was YouTube, and you had subscribers on YouTube, but that was never as much of a thing as having followers like on Instagram, having subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what's that?
Could you talk like what was it like with the best trickers at these tournaments? Like how open were? Could you just talk to them, or would that be seen as like weird?
Honestly, I didn't really start going to those until like 07, 08. And I already knew some of them because they would come to my karate school and teach, like Daniel Sterling. I knew Matt Emig, Marcel Jones. So I already knew them, so I could say what's up to them and stuff. But the other guys were like, they were actually nice guys. But in my head, you know, I saw them on the internet, and then I'm seeing them in real life. And, you know, it's funny because that's probably how people feel about, like, seeing us now, that stuff.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
Full circle.
But yeah, they were all nice guys. It's just, and you don't want to talk to them before they're doing their forms or anything either at the tournaments. They've all got their headphones on. They're getting in the zone. But yeah, it was intimidating because I was a kid too. Yeah.
How much of your training? Well, when did you move over to training on spring floor?
My first time at a gym was 2004.
2004, and then were you just like consistently training on spring floor, or was it just
more?
Like
yeah, pretty much. The first year was just on karate mats, and I didn't even know that a spring floor was a thing. And then my teacher, Ish Payne, you guys know Ish, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
We started tricking together. He somehow found out that there was a gym in the suburbs, like 30 miles away, with a spring floor, and I didn't even know what that meant, but it was just really exciting. I was like 12, and then he took us out there one Sunday for the open gym, and it was just amazing. It was so much fun. There were like 3 different floors there, tumble tracks, trampolines. It was like Disney World, you know. I'm 12 years old. I just started doing flips. So every Sunday we would go, and it didn't matter how far these places were too. It could be 30 miles away, 40 miles, an hour. We're there every Sunday. Be at the karate school in the city. He'd pick us up. We'd drive out there. We'd go to Friendly's after, which is like a fast food place. Get big ice cream sundaes. It was like magic. I don't know. It was really magical. Every Sunday you're getting new tricks. Every Sunday he's making a little sampler from the gym session. I think we got up to like gym session number 60 before we stopped. It was magical. We had a little portable hard drive thing. And we had all of like the samplers on this portable hard drive that you'd have to plug into the computer. And me and my friend Ed would watch like the samplers waiting for Ish to like get to the karate school to pick us up. It was magical. Floor, I was like, dude, I just got a whole foot higher. I tried the same amount. I just got a foot higher than before.
I've always wondered what that must be like training tricking as a kid, because I started like right after leaving high school, so I never like. What was that like with your school life, being the kid at school that could do all of these flips and kicks and stuff? Because it must have played a big part in your
Yeah, it was
your
fun.
school.
I would do wall flips a lot at school. So in middle school, it was like a private school, so there was like a high school also. And I remember me and my friends in like 6th, 7th grade would always go into the high school and do like wall flips for the older kids and the girls and stuff, and they would all like freak out. And I would just do flips anywhere I went. I think, yeah, the first day I got a backflip, I went to my friend's birthday party after, and I was just flipping the whole time. Like,
Well,
I couldn't stop.
have you ever thought about how your experience at that time is something that probably like no one will ever really experience again? Because now YouTube exists, then I feel like most people have like seen flips and they've seen parkour and stuff, and it's so big now that they kind of come across it. Whereas back then, with no YouTube, they lots of people would have just never seen anyone do a wall flip ever.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. It's a good question. Yeah, I guess it is different. We had nothing to really watch. Everything was brand new. Everything you did was like pretty much brand new. You didn't know if you were first person to do it or not. Everything was word of mouth. I think you're the first. I'm not sure. I thought wall flip was something that did matrix with wires, and I didn't think you could do that in real life. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff we were doing and seeing in person, we didn't know that you could do that in person until we saw it, as opposed to seeing it on the internet first, and then seeing it in real life. Like kids instantly see everything right now.
That's crazy, actually.
It's really crazy, yeah, thinking about that.
Because I've experienced it with like free runners a bit, where I've seen things in person that I didn't know anyone could do, like early on in my training. But it's very rare. Like even when I went to my first tricking gathering, I'd already seen enough videos to know that people could do like cart triple falls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back then you didn't know. Everything was new, and you didn't know what was being done. You kind of knew, and everything wasn't instant either. After the session, you had to go home. You didn't record off your phone. There weren't smartphones or anything yet. So you had like an actual video camera. You go home, upload it, blah blah blah, edit it, put it out. People now they do something in the session, it's instantly uploaded. Yeah. It wasn't like that back then. You took a day or two, or if you're really fast, you put it out that day. That was crazy. Like, oh, you did that today and it's already out. Oh, something else.
The good thing.
Huh?
Say it again, sorry.
Oh, just one little thing. Something else that people did back then was teasers for samplers. People don't really do that anymore. They put out a teaser first, be like a minute long, and just get you excited, and then samplers. So, what were you saying, Alex?
Well, actually, hold on. Shosei did that for his most recent sampler, which I thought it was kind of cool. I thought that was cool that he posted the little teaser, and then the sampler came out a few days later. It was great.
Yeah.
Did you see his story today?
What's that?
Have you seen his story today? Do you know what's in his latest video that's coming out tomorrow?
It was like 5, 5, 5, 5, 10 or something. 5, 5, 5, 30. I don't know.
He did. It's like 310004. He did.
No.
Yeah. He's a twist ahead of like everyone, even the people like Johan. He's a twist ahead still.
Dude, it's like when I started, if you wanted to be among the best, you just had to get like a cork swing cork, B twist and cork. If you're starting now, it's like it's so daunting.
Yeah, you got to swing out of your scoot quad if you want to be.
If you want to be anyone.
Like, why even try to be the best? But also that you could think of it the reverse. It's probably a bad attitude.
Yeah,
I don't know though. I think I think it's good because it seems, in some ways, because I feel like the general level will just be getting higher and higher the more people that are getting involved, because it will seem more achievable, because you see so many people. And also, if you're starting as a kid, you're seeing all these other kids that are doing things that around your age, and they're doing incredible things. So it's like, okay, well, I can't do quad right now, but I should at least be able to do triple, some kind of triple.
Yeah, no.
I feel like there is a lot of space still in tricking, though. Like, going into the power move area, then that's kind of been pushed really far. And I know it's going to go further, but other areas are pretty much untapped. Like, people have put some time into them, but they can go so much deeper. There's so many types of variation that haven't really been explored.
It's like what I was saying earlier. Like, you only have so much time. And I heard you guys talking about specialties the other week. It's like, but I think more and more people are tricking, and there's going to be so many people tricking now, and so many specialists that each part is going to be really crazy soon. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like it is only a matter of time until it's like you can't touch the people. Like, if you were trying to be all rounded, even if you were like a Shosei, I'm saying, like, in like the next like 10, 15, 20 years, even if you were like a Shosei kind of tricker, you wouldn't really be able to touch the people that are just doing their specialty kind of area.
Yeah.
Because they've put all of their time. Like, imagine if Shosei put all of the time that he's put into all of the tricks that he's done, if he just spent that time on one particular area, imagine what would be possible, like what he would be doing.
I can't believe he's gotten as far as he's gotten in so many areas in so little time.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like a level playing ground, because think about this, like, you got Shosei who's had a coach and started at a super young age, almost unlimited gym access at an incredible gym. Well, what about when there's 500 people who have those exact same circumstances? That's when I think it will become impossible for someone to rise above everything, because you just have to choose an area. If you want to be the best at something, you'll have to choose an area, because everyone will have had that same access and that same kind of opportunity.
I think even with what you said, I think Shosei's still an anomaly. Even if there were, thousands of other kids with all of his same settings, I think he's still an anomaly.
I thought that when I saw it in person, that there was something. It's like, with all of the thousands of hours of training and like good training in the right way, him being the right sort of size, there was something else. It's like his body just has this extra amount of power, more than anyone else I've ever seen. Like at Scottish Power Gathering, he can just kind of jump like this much higher than everyone, and it doesn't really make sense why or how he's doing it.
And he can move faster than what everybody else can do as well. Like, he can like move his body faster, because when you see him twist in person, it kind of feels like, if I do this as hard as I can, I'm never going to be able to do it quite to the same speed that he would. It's so crazy to witness.
It was funny at Neo 2018. You guys were at that one. I had never been to an event where there was someone that could triple or quad easier than Michael Guthrie, and it was weird. It was like the first time I'd seen it in person, where there was someone at the event or at the gathering that, not better, but could triple and quad like way easier than Michael Guthrie. And Michael Guthrie maybe just wasn't training as hard at the time. I don't know, but it was just weird to see, like, because he had always been the one at everything I'd been to.
But going back to what you guys were saying earlier about, like, I don't know, like somebody not being able to have the same experience that you had, where it's like they'll be seeing a wall flip for the first time, as an example. Well, there's a couple of things. Like, first of all, even if you do see all of these things, like if someone watched all of Shosei's videos, it's never going to be the same as when they see it in person. Like, it's not just Shosei, it's like a lot of incredible trickers, but they have that like special kind of way of moving. And when you see it in person, it's completely different to on video. And it's way more impressive when you see it in person. But the other thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to keep being pushed to the point where once I don't know. It's just not going to make any sense when you're watching it on video because there's so many people that are doing all these crazy things that you just can't keep up with what's going on.
And unless you're watching this all the time, every day, pretty soon we're not going to be able to keep up with all of the new terms and just everything being done unless we like really stay in it. You know, if I dropped out of tricking right now completely, I think in 2 years, 3 years, if I'm watching the best guys, what is that? What is that? I don't think I'm going to know what's going on anymore because I think the rate is accelerating. You know, it's exponential. It's not this. It's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Instagram has really helped with like the level of tricking. Like you can say what you will. I know there's definite downsides to it, but just in terms of how fast people progress, I think it's helped a lot because it makes it all seem easy. Seeing all these people doing all these hard things all of the time.
Yeah. Instantly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It definitely has its positives in that sense. Do you think, okay, question, do you think they'll ever come to a point where people are withholding what they're doing? Like, let's say, for example, like if it's for competition or if it's like, I don't know, like if there's real merit to somebody saving clips for a sampler or some format that we don't really know that doesn't exist yet. Do you think there'll be a time where people are withholding those clips and then all of a sudden at an event, everyone just pulls out all of these tricks and you're watching it and you're like, holy shit, the sport has changed.
I could see that happening if the battles become like real prize money. It's like, you know, I don't know, 500 $1,000, something like that. If it gets to like 20 grand, 30 grand, even like 10 grand, then I can see people just like, they want to hide their best stuff because, you know, I put this out. Zen sees it, Shosi sees it, Ethan Turner sees it. They do it better. They do it in a battle against me. They have no idea what I'm training at all. They're not going to be able to rebuttal this. They didn't know I could even do it. They haven't been training that kind of stuff. Everyone knows what everyone's doing right now constantly. Everyone's kind of trying to, you know, up the next person. But I think if the battles are some real prize money and real sponsorships, like, I think people might withhold a little bit more for what I said.
That would be a real big shift in tricking, and it would make it more exciting. It would make battles way more exciting if you didn't know, because you know what the people are going to do now. Like I know what sort of thing Shosei's going to do or Alexander's going to do. It's going to be great, but I know what they're going to do. I will have already seen it on Instagram. But imagine they were doing whole new moves that you've never seen before in the battle. That would make it so much more exciting for the viewer as well.
I agree, but we're in this culture of likes and follows. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we're in that culture where people want it instantly. They want the likes, they want the follows, they want it all like right then, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would mean that events would have a much better turnout. I think it could be a really good thing for the experience side of tricking because because like I'd be so much more excited to go and see battles that people are going to be like. Imagine if going into Hooked and like not even just battles, but like just the event itself when people are training. Imagine if you had no fucking clue what people were going to be doing. Like you knew roundabout that they'd been training some stuff, but then all of a sudden they pulled the shit out and you're like, what? I don't know what I just witnessed.
Yeah.
Having to have like 1,000 frame a second playbacks on this big screen while people are battling because everyone's like, what the fuck did he just do? How do we even mark that?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, I think it would be great if there were $10,000, $20,000 prizes, but like, who would do that and for what reason, you think?
Yeah. You need to... I don't know. Go on, Omid. What do you think?
I was going to say, like, I don't know who would do that, but I feel as though if it could be done and turned into a profitable thing for more of a media experience, like not necessarily the live event, because it's not known enough at this point for it to gather the kind of traction needed to make the money back through ticket sales and stuff like that. But if there was a way of a company turning the media side of it into something really profitable, whether that be like, I don't know, if you use like X Games as an example, they made all this money from TV shows and all that kind of thing. Maybe that could be an avenue, or like documentaries and things like that.
Yeah, the thing with tricking, I think, is that if you don't trick and you don't put like the time into learning tricking, it's really hard to appreciate. Like basketball, most people played basketball as a kid, gym class, or even if you didn't play basketball, you understand. Shoot, basketball goes into hoop. You dribble, you can steal, you can rebound. Unless you actually trick or do movement or like, you know, put the time into these tricks, I feel like the random public feel like they don't care that much, or like they're like it's kind of a passing thing. Like, oh damn, that's awesome, that's cool. I wish I could do that, or I could never do that. But beyond that, it's just hard for the public, I feel like, to be invested in something they don't understand. They don't understand the difficulty, what went into it.
I think in its current form, that's true. But there's definitely ways to make it more digestible for people that don't necessarily understand what they're doing.
Yeah,
what trickers are doing during the battles.
Without watering it down, though, too. Keeping.
No, but I don't necessarily think watering it down is that much of a bad thing in some way. Like, let's say, for example, you look at if it was like the small things that go on at tricking events where it's like the biggest trick. I feel like stuff like that, if there was a way of like making more things like that, or even just like a game of trick, for example, I feel like that's much more digestible than anybody just being able to do anything at all at any given moment, and then you've got to judge. Like, imagine if you have to judge someone like you versus someone who's doing crazy power tricks. It's a lot harder for people to understand because it's all just fucking everything's everywhere. But it's a lot easier to understand what you're looking at if you see one person do something and then the other person has to do it in a better way. Or
it's just if it's framed right, like that. Like, I have no interest in cars. I've never watched F1, but I watched the 10-part F1 docu-series, and I couldn't wait to watch the next episode of every single one of them. And it made F1, it made me excited to see who was going to win. It had like people battling for 7th and 8th position, and it made me excited to see who was going to win because of the way they presented it and showed the stakes of what's so important about, like, if this guy doesn't get 7th, if he loses to his teammate, then he's off the team. And there was like so much like tense rivalry between them and stuff. And I feel like you could do that with tricking if you like throughout the course of the year you followed all of the best trickers and kind of looked into their life a bit, their motivations and their training and how much this means to them. And then you present it in a way where it's clear, like, if Alexander doesn't land this pass, then he's going to lose it all. Like, the people don't need to understand which
he's going to lose his house, his mortgage.
Yeah. It's all on the line.
Yeah, it's going to be on the screen. In the people.
There's a way to do it, though, is my point.
Yeah.
And I think it could happen in the future. I hope it does.
I hope it does as well.
For sure.
Yeah. But we've got another live in a minute.
Yeah, we're about to go live.
It's 7:15.
All right, I'll probably watch your next one.
We'll
do this again.
Appreciate it.
This was fun.
Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Let's do it again. I feel like there's even more things we could talk about.
Oh, there's a lot.
Just got the tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
Just the tip.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, brother.
All right.
Yes,
Peace.
All right.
Peace.